Okay, so I got a package today, and so what I'm going to try and do is, I've always wanted a different spoiler for my Legacy. So what I did was went on eBay and found the cheapest rear trunk spoiler. I'm going to see if I can mold that onto this one, kind of like a gurney flap or an extension, but I'm just surprised it came in this small box. I guess it's all folded up. So let's open it and see how it looks. Box in a box. Interesting. Looks like he has some double-sided tape with it. Adhesion promoter wipes. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to leave this out in the sun for a little while before we could try and fit it. I got a load of parts. There you go, just a sneak peek of the upcoming bulb review videos. Let's put those aside for now. Got some CV clamp tools, which I've never done before, so that'll be interesting. That's for the Legacy. I need to replace the boots on one of the CV shafts. And in here, yes, hello cat, we have the new signal stock for the Jeep. A little fun fact, if your turn signal stock has or it controls the headlights of the vehicle, it is called a multifunction switch. But back in the Volvo, it's a 2004 XC90. It's been on the channel before. We did the rear brakes and the muffler delete, but it has a weird problem today. Let's see if I could show you guys here. So I'm turning the wheel. It kind of gets a bit tight here. Let me go past it. It stops. You can hear the pump a little bit. Here it's a little bit tight here. Get past it. Same thing on the other side, but it seems to be always consistent in the same spot. So I've had this problem before on cars in the past, and it's always been the strut tower mounts. The bearing sees up on it, then when you turn the wheel it stops and it gets stuck there. The wheel won't come back to center. On this car I did some research, and it looks like it's pretty common for a steering knuckle joint to be seized on it. So what I did is I sprayed it with penetrating fluid, let it sit overnight, went for a drive the next day, and the steering was much better. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace that joint. It's a Volvo only part, so I had to order it from Volvo, so it'll be a while before we get it. And this car also has a slight misfire on idle. Has 315,000 K on it, and there's no history of anything. The owner bought it used. So I'm gonna do spark plugs first, do all the cheap stuff, and I'm actually gonna seafoam the engine as well. It's always good. I'm sure my neighbors love that when they smoke out the street. And then we'll put in some seafoam in the fuel tank as well, just to clean out the whole fuel system and injectors. But yeah, so we'll get started on that, and actually I'll show you where the joint is right now. As you can see all the way back there, and it's hard to tell, but the top of the intake pipe here is a little wet from the penetrating fluid, but all the way in the back there is a little steering, just above my finger here, little steering universal joint. If I spray that, the steering is much better. I also flushed the power steering fluid. Let me show you. So Same thing, and you need a CHF 11S. Here's the just some deep creep on the steering joint, and then also here's all the seafoam and stuff. And it turns out that the OEMs use platinum plugs on it, so that's what we're gonna do. But we're gonna start with all the seafoam stuff first, and we'll drive it for a few days, and then we'll do the spark plugs after. You know what, we'll probably wait to do the spark plugs until we get the steering joint as well. Oh, and also, it's kind of funny, you can only buy these in pairs of 2, so we're gonna have 1 extra spark plug. Everything's so crusty on this engine. I think anything's been apart in a long time. Normally I like to spray this after the mass airflow center, but it's kind of plastic. I don't want it to break. So. Should be mass airflow center. Okay. Okay, let's get this a little start. It was just me, but seafoam doesn't make those big clouds of smoke like it used to. Let's go for a drive and see if we can help clean it out a bit more. And that barely made a cloud of smoke. I miss when you could seafoam a car and just smoke screen the whole street. And I've noticed that since they went, I don't know if they changed the formula, but it doesn't work the same anymore. I mean, it still has a cleaning properties, it still cleans as well, but you don't get that huge smoke screen. Let's see again here. No, nothing came out. Okay, so we'll fill up the tank with the it's actually a new formulation of seafoam. It's a high mileage seafoam, so we'll try that out. And like I said, we're going to order the steering knuckle part, and maybe I'll do a flush of the power. Yeah, I'll do a flush of the power steering again next time. But that's all we got for the Volvo today. So yeah, we'll see how long OEM Volvo parts take to get here. This is the high mileage seafoam. Perfect. Now I'll go fill up this tank with some 94 octane.